Here I am convinced that transformational leadership to the world must come from India because of its inner strength and philosophical purity. Here I am reminded of the vision and the dream of Swami Vivekananda. He said, "One vision I can see clear as light before me, that the ancient mother has awakened once more, sitting on her throne, rejuvenated, more glorious than ever, proclaim her to the entire world with the voice of peace and benediction." When India was in the clutches of imperial powers, plagued by poverty, destitution, and diminished self-confidence, Swamiji went a step ahead and proclaimed that a resurrected India would be the leader of the world. In the era of binaries where nuances are lost, we should go back to the teaching of Rig Veda, which declared that truth is one. The inclusive principle outlined by Indian philosophers have stood the test of time and are even more relevant in a world fractured by divisive ideas. Our Sanatana Dharma celebrates the spirit of inclusiveness, and Bharatvarsh has always welcomed visitors of different spiritual persuasion and ethnicities with open arms. Bharat has also had to suffer depredation of evangelical invaders multiple times, but has never ever in its multi-millennial history ever attacked any other country or civilization. But there has been a systematic effort to derail and delegitimize the Indian thought process by imperialists, colonialists, Marxists, and so-called liberals. The great treasure of Indian philosophy has been rebuked and ridiculed in order to alienate our future generation from our Indian roots and from our civilizational culture. In the name of modernity and westernization, our generation has been uprooted from their glorious heritage and tradition. We have been told to talk about and take pride in India's heritage is an act of parochialism and traditionalism. When we talk about composite Indian culture, it has been dubbed as communalism. The Indian school of Oriental philosophy has simply been displaced and sought to be driven out of India. Even the study of Hinduism and Sanskrit has become subject of great interest in the West, but sadly not in India. The academic and epistemological pursuit of Hinduism has been systematically denied as goal of regressive non-modern people. On the contrary, the so-called left institutions have received disproportionate favor from the state apparatus. In a way, they have been succeeded in creating cynicism about our religion and tradition. Time has now come to silence this trend through a dispassionate focus on our past. The purpose is not to go back to the past, but to develop a healthy, scientific understanding about our philosophy, tradition, and religion so that our future generation can be proud of what they possess. We need to tell our next generation that every problem that humanity is facing today had its reflection in the past. Today, toleration is considered to be a great virtue. But in Hinduism, as Vivekananda said, "I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance." We believe not only in universal tolerance, but we accept all religion as true, and that is essence of our religion. Indian tradition and philosophy goes beyond reductionism between me and possessive individualism, and class as privilege and underprivileged. Our approach is holistic and integrated. We believe in 5 principles of ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, and aparigraha. These were the guiding principles of Gandhiji's too. At a time when drugs, violence, armed proliferation, animosity towards each other remain some of the principles that grip a certain section of youth, recourse of this teaching of our past could act as a great functional pillar to our young generation. These teachings need to be imparted through education, family values, and co-curricular practices in the educational institute. We need our future generation to believe the principles which are considered to be most sustainable principle for the humanity. It is now time to develop that organic leadership which is democratic, which respects our rich culture, tradition, and which is not based on dynasty. The generation can give to the world the leadership which Vivekananda had visualized. Today we have seen in the context of what is happening in last few months or few days, few weeks, we have seen that a particular section of media, a particular section of society is trying to invent and reinvent a particular leader who has come from a dynasty, and it is as if that India cannot be India without relying on particular dynasty. Now, we have seen a section of media, section of intellectual, that the focus is more on a family than our culture, than our heritage. So, we need to develop a leadership in our country which do not believe that a particular family or a particular dynasty is the answer to India's problem, but who believes that your roots, your culture, your philosophy, your teachings is answer to the problems which you are facing today. Vivekananda has visualized India's preordained destiny of taking on the mantle of the world leadership. This should not only in the realm of spirituality, but also in every other sphere, be it economic, political, and social. He called for capacity building in science and technology. Influenced by Swamiji's words, pioneer industrialist Jamshedji Tata spearheaded the formation of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Along his famous steel plant, Shri Jagdish Chandra Bose drew inspiration from his thoughts and went on to give India its rightful place in the world of science. Today, our advance in science and technology have made the world stand up and listen to us. But Swami Vivekananda had asserted the need for capacity building a century ago. Our heritage, our philosophy is based on science. We believe in modernity. But when we talk about our culture, our philosophy, there is a section of liberal so-called secular people who started ridiculating. We face in our daily life that when you talk about our culture, our philosophy, you get lot of ridiculism from those section of the people. But I believe that time has come that we need to create a strong movement of nationalism which develop on the core value which we cherish over the years. We must create an ecosystem which will actually create a generation of leaders who thinks that India can provide leadership to the world. You have seen that in the last month, a particular person has gone to the some university. Which university? What is that university? What is that? What are the audience there? Nobody knows. But our media, some section of media started clapping that somebody has gone to America and he has come back as a new man. So that kind of leadership, if you talk about that, actually Indian value represent that, I think it is very, very dangerous. Yesterday I have seen a tweet from a senior journalist. He said that my request to so and so, after Gujarat election, please don't sleep. Please continue to lead us because we need you. I mean, that's a tweet from a very, very senior journalist of from our media. Now, if we believe in those kind of leaders, if we believe that that is our destiny, probably our country will not able to provide the leadership which we thought for, we aspire for. That is why in this forum, I will request that time has come to develop a generation of leadership which is not from dynasty, which doesn't believe in feudalism, who believes in India's philosophy, India's heritage, and who has tremendous confidence, or they have confidence to take India into the world scenario on the basis of our own philosophy and our own thought process. I don't want to take your time, but I believe that what India Foundation are working towards creating this generation, and I am taking immense pride in identifying myself with this cause. Thank you very much.